NBA history, the home team, your Los Angeles Lakers. 7-4 season from St. John's, Meta World League. Number 16, 17, 12 campaign in Spain. Starting at center, number 12, 6'11".
Three 776. You know what? Let's squeeze in Charlie in LA. Charlie, you're up first on Verizon Wireless Lakers line.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, Charlie.
Hey, I really want to talk about Kobe's off-ball defense because we've seen it all before. Like, we've seen him play some bad off-ball defense, but we all know that, like, in the All-Star game, he locked up LeBron. We've seen him go to the first all-defensive team multiple years, but you just saw it. Trevor was literally camping in the corner, a guy that he's played with for about 3 or 4 years, and he can't lock him down after that 6 3-pointer that he made in the corner. I just don't understand what was up with him. Keep going away and trying to help and leaving him literally wide open 4 or 5 times in a row.
Yeah, grand total of 7 3-pointers. Charlie, thanks a lot for the phone call. Wow, yeah, 9 of 15 for Trevor Ariza, 7 of 12. I just can't believe I'm even speaking those words. But that is exactly what Trevor Ariza had today with 25 points off the bench. No, not a good moment for Kobe Bryant. I mean, he had the offensive numbers were there with the exception of the 6 turnovers, but defensively, they needed him in that second half, and he was not able to provide much, if anything. 877-710-3776, 877-710-3776. Coming up, more reaction from the Lakers losing to the Wizards 103-100.
Welcome back to Lake Show's Finest, featuring Jaboy Charles Ryan of KB24 Status Fandom. Apparently the Lakers aren't very good right now. It's a shocker, isn't it? I've been experiencing this for the past 7 years since one Mr. Dwight Howard decided to hop off and become an idiot. Speaking of which, thank God that happened. Thank God we didn't re-sign him. Thank God he ignored those posters that said, stay. But that's neither here nor there. I'm really here to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers' effort tonight against Cleveland, as well as another quote-unquote story time with yours truly. Right out of the gate, I'm going to say this. I don't expect at first this to get that many views. So since this won't be on, this will not be on iCloud, iTunes or SoundCloud, for a few weeks. I'm working on all this stuff, but at least until the All-Star break. That's it. I may get it done in a week, tomorrow. You never know, but give me about until the All-Star break to get it done. But my point is that since I'm posting this video the night of the Laker game versus the Cavs, it's going to be irrelevant a little bit. In terms of the Cavs-Lakers analysis. I'm not saying the video is irrelevant. There's other content like story time, and if you just want to hear my beautiful voice. But no, the analysis is not completely irrelevant. It's more just the game itself, but the analysis of the players and trends and, just the general direction the Lakers are going right now. But also, I'm not as pessimistic as some people because let's just dive straight into the game. I thought the Lakers played really well, except for the first quarter, and Luke Walton said that. And most people observed that. But I think that this loss isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. It's pretty bad, losing to the worst team in the league, but at the same time, you have to realize that these opportunities to get these wins and make separation from the 8 and 9 and the Jazz are huge. But at the same time, again, you never know what this loss can do for the next game against another terrible team on Tuesday night. You never know what it can do after that. Even Kuzma said post-game, he was like, he was sorry that he underestimated the Cavs. And you know what? He's right. He's an idiot. No, but in that is, people underestimated the Lakers last year or 2 years ago, and they pounced, right? But underestimating the Cavs when the Cavs have players that hate the Lakers, that are mad at LeBron, that are coming back for vengeance like Jordan Clarkson, when we gave him that stupid-ass contract. That is definitely not a time to underestimate players. And there is one more thing, though, that's really important point. I'm going to get to it, but I'm going to shift to story time for 30 seconds, and it's going to be a quick tease because I'm a teaser sometimes. But I'm going to switch to that real fast, but I'll come back to the game. It is the Cavs, worst team in the league, so I'm not going to focus too much on, the worst team in the league. But I will talk about some stuff coming up. All right, so to story time. But quickly, just really fast before I go to story time. Sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit. Sorry about that. But the last podcast was about 35 minutes, I think. And the intro, I think, was like 8, which, it's an intro. So I'm not going to have intros be long like that, right? Nobody does that. One-time thing. So my goal is to get each podcast between 25 minutes to like an hour. There might be special circumstances where it might be an hour and a half. It might be 10 minutes. No idea. But in the description, there's kind of like basically a summary of my introduction. And, I might update that at some point to include certain things. But each video is going to have that. That's pretty normal. But I'm trying to become right out of the gate, get professional, come out swinging. I've done this before, like I said, so it's not like I'm a real novice. But yeah, I did mention though that I did it before with the Old Lake Show podcast. But I've done recordings. I said when I was at college, I did this just to remind people. In college, I did a talk show with this guy while I was there for a very long time. 1 year of my college career, quote unquote, my freshman year, I did that. So I even recorded just private stuff, private 10-minute things about the Lakers, like just thoughts, didn't share with anybody. Same thing with the articles and the links. I said this would be a quick thing, I'm sorry, but yeah, so the goal is 25 minutes to an hour, and there might be certain extraordinary situations. Right now, at this moment, it is January 14th. The Lakers game was last night. I'm recording this. Well, really, it's January 13th. I'm recording this at like 1 a.m. But this will go up, I think, in the morning, if not the afternoon. So there's still time to listen before the next one. But, yeah. All right, finally, story time. I've teased you enough. So the story I'm going to focus on today, and I plan to have this at least once an episode. Another thing. Sorry I'm bouncing around a little bit. The title is Lake Show's Finest Redux. Period. You'll see that on YouTube, that it says that. But I've been saying, like, welcome to Lake Show's Finest. It's Lake Show's Finest Redux. And I might make the mistakes and say just Lake Show's Finest. But I really want to separate myself from the old podcast because that was short-lived. And this is going to be long-lived. Obviously on obviously on the stuff in the links, it's still Lake Show's Finest. But, yeah. All right. Not going to get distracted again. Time for story time. So, my story time is I went to the Lakers Fiesta in 2006. It's an event that celebrates Hispanic, Latino heritage for the Lakers fans. And, like, everybody goes. It's not just for Hispanic people. It's not just for, whatever. But it's just celebrating, like, it's Noche Latina, I think, week. When it says Los Lakers on the jerseys. So in 2006 I went, and I was very fortunate to go. The head of broadcasting for the Lakers Spanish station was fortunate enough to invite me, and I went. And when I was there, I met someone named Kobe Bryant. And I took a photo with him. I have that photo. I will post that photo in a video soon. I'll also that might even be the cover photo on SoundCloud and all that. But this is YouTube exclusive. The photos and the videos. Like, I'm gonna have photos and videos of things that won't be for your ears. But when I was at Lake Show's Finest, I was very fortunate to be in the situation of meeting Kobe, and this is true. This is the year of the buzzer beater that Kobe made in Game 4 of the Western Conference first round against the Suns. So this is March 2006, and the Lakers played that game. I think it was like March 20-something. But the Lakers played that buzzer beater game when Kobe made it from the elbow in April, April something, late April. So it was pretty close. So it was the final stretch. And I'm preparing. I'm like, are we going to play the Suns? Are we not going to play the Suns? You never know what's going to happen. And I called into the station, which is on the previous podcast. I called in the station, I think, after Lakers Fiesta. Sorry, not Noche Latina, Los Lakers. After the Fiesta, so you know that, like, that's right around when this was. And when I was there, I met, since it's Noche Latina, Lakers Fiesta, and I went with the guy who heads the Spanish radio station with, I forgot the two guys' names, so I really like them. I forgot their names. It's basically his thing, because he heads the station. So I was very lucky to not only meet Kobe, but this happened. We went outside of the convention center and met Luke, Devin George, and whatever. It's not a big deal meeting them. But the funny thing is this is the funny thing. Luke was, well, I don't know if I should say this. I can't say this actually. Luke was smoking a cigarette outside. Let's just put it like that. And I didn't say anything. Who the fuck cares? But I just thought that was funny. And he was smoking, I think, a cigarette with Dev and George. And we were there just chilling. And, like, meeting them. And it's not, like, formal. It was informal because we're outside the convention center. And it's just so funny because you never expect athletes to really do that. But Luke's a fucking G. I love Luke. Luke is, like, the coolest guy ever. He's, like, Kobe's friend and RJ's friend and RJ's LeBron's best. I mean, one of good friends. And it's just this whole, like, circle. And Luke's first year was with Shaq and Gary Payton. So I just really enjoyed that moment. Just being around Luke, especially, I think it was Devin George, Kareem Rush, and I think Brian Cook as well. I might be wrong about Brian Cook, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, Brian Cook was still on the team. And Kareem Rush and Luke are best friends, so that's pretty cool. But that just moment was so funny, and Luke obviously signed something for me, which I still have, and I'll post it if you guys are interested. I mean, I think it's pretty cool, that moment. Like the signature, like, is cool, but it's more like that moment, you know? And it's like the moment of me calling in Lakers when I'm like 10. Like, you know, people call in, but it's just so funny that, like, I did that when I was like 10. And there's a bunch of other stories similar to that. Not that when I'm 10, just similar things where, like, people, they get autographs from athletes all the time. But it's just, like, the way it happens with me sometimes is just really funny. I went to Lakers Fiesta a different time. It was a little bit later. I think it was 2009 or 8. And I also went a time before that in 2004. And the one in 2004 was the first Luke's rookie year with Gary Payton and Karl Malone. And that was cool. And I'll talk about those other two things another time. But that was story time. And let me know if you like this, guys. I mean, I don't care if I get 10 views. I don't care if I get 1,000 views. Just as long as I keep doing this consistently, that's how this works. It will gradually grow, period. But yeah, I don't care if this comment comes a year after. I'm interested to hear if you like these stories. And if not, if you think they're too, like, I don't know, like boisterous or whatever, I don't know. I just think they're funny, and these things happen, and they're just so ridiculous. And I'm lucky. And sometimes these things happen with, like, friends of mine, and the friends that they happen with even have crazy reactions to it. And I don't mind they don't mind, and I don't mind, especially telling you their reaction. But that was story time. And let's move back to focusing on the Cavs game. We're going to touch on a few things that are important, more important than what I said in the beginning. Those things are regarding effort, Luke, Kuz, but I'll run it down. The most important thing missed free throws and missed wide open shots.
Please follow us on Twitter at Lakers Legacy Pod. Please also rate and review us on iTunes, because the more you rate and review us, that's how many Paul George Lakers jerseys will be sold next season. And if a ton are sold next season, then you know what that means. We are all delusional. Speaking of rating and reviews, tonight we will have Pacers GM Larry Bird read the review. Tommy Alexander, our impressionist extraordinaire, will read as Larry Bird. Tommy/Larry Bird, take it away.
This review is by Kobe24MP3, and it's called Tommy is Humor. Lakers Legacy Pod is a million times better than the Kaminsky Pod, who seem to focus on anything but the Lakers. With that said, Alan's impressions are straight humor, and Jonathan's intros are as creative as Swaggy's dolphin stories. Tommy is a great contributor, and appreciate their promotion of Boba as well. I hope Alan's Zubac impression makes more appearances, since it looks like he's going to get way more minutes. Again, this is a great pod, and I can't wait for your analysis when the Lakers are legit contenders. Keep up the good work.
Well, Larry Bird, that may happen sooner than we think. Thank you, Tommy. By the way, what went into your Larry Bird impersonation?
I was trying to imagine a guy who was about to trade Paul George to the Lakers.
Well, it sounded very much like that guy, and I could sense the apprehension and anxiety in your voice, so thank you. By the way, what was his name again, the reviewer?
It was Kobe24MP3.
Kobe24MP3, thank you for that review. We all each got a shout-out, so hey, that's pretty awesome. Also, besides being on iTunes, Stitcher, almightyballer.com, we are also on Dash Radio, and tonight we have Chuck, the Chuckster,